So, greetings once again, ladies and gentlemen. This is Richard Taylor, and I'm coming back with an update. I originally wanted to leave this story alone, but within the past few days or week or so, I've had people reach out to me and ask me, what is the outcome of the situation? What is the school board saying? And also, I received a call this morning at about 7:30, which caused me to revisit the situation. Now, if you don't know, about a couple of weeks ago, in the midst of the unfortunate shooting in North Carolina, the University of North Carolina, Principal Wendy Waters of Spring Creek made some uh, controversial statements on her Facebook page. Someone made a post about it and sent it to me. I made a couple of YouTube videos about it. They garnered, several hundred views, thousands of views, and it reached Reddit. It reached the news, in which the news reached out to myself and wanted, to get my take on the situation. And this story pretty much reached, I guess the whole community. Everybody was, talking about it in one way or the other. And that was about 2 weeks ago. And I originally, once again, wanted to let it die, but again, people had been calling me and asking me what happened with that situation. And due to the call this morning, and I'm gonna actually share some of that call. The caller was a person who was very close to Miss Waters, and she shared some, uh, in my opinion, some disturbing information, which kind of substantiates the maliciousness of what some people feel that her post was. So I'm gonna play a few clips of that conversation that we had. But I also just want to expound on the situation a little bit. This is not a witch hunt for Mrs. Waters. I know nobody's perfect, and of course, me, I'm a believer in second chances. However, when children are involved and people have been hurt, once again, there needs to be some measures taken. So, because I got so many requests of what was going on, I decided myself today to go to the school board. And of course, I didn't have an appointment, but the secretary came out and I said I wanted to speak with someone about a community issue. And she said, "Well, you don't have an appointment, so you can't speak to anybody. What's the issue?" And I told her, I was like, "Well, last week, a lot of community members are still concerned about what are you guys going to do, about the controversial statements that the principal made." And she said, "Well, we haven't done nothing because the school board hasn't met yet." She said they meet next Monday. So I said, "Okay." And of course, I would love to be there, but Mondays are the days I do the after school program, so I wouldn't be able to be there. So if anyone is wanting to attend or voice their opinions or show support, even for Ms. Waters, I guess they will be meeting. I think the closed session starts at 3 and the public session starts at 5. So if anybody is wondering, uh, about the outcome of the situation, you are more than welcome and you are encouraged to go there and voice your opinion, because a lot of people were outraged, but then, there is one thing to be outraged on social media, but there's also one thing to, bring your voices to the people who are in decision making power. And so that's where that situation is now. So if anybody has been asking or wondering, yes, the school board has yet to make any decisions in the form of discipline or whatever they intend to do until this coming up Monday. So if anybody's interested, you can go to the school board as well. And I'm going to play this clip because this lady evidently has a close and personal relationship with Mrs. Waters. So she wanted to share some information with you. And, I just listened, and, to protect her identity, I'm not going to play the whole clip, but I want to just play you a little bit of what this person who claims to have a personal relationship with her said. And I hope you guys can hear this on this computer right here next to this.
She needs to be removed from that position. I'm talking to you from experience, from a lifelong experience. She needs to be removed. I didn't like the idea of her being principal in the first place. It made me cringe when I found out she became a principal. And she's just like her mom. She's just like her mom. And I just couldn't believe it. I could not believe it when I saw it. I mean, it upset me because I knew it. I mean, I was surprised, but it still upset me. But
So that someone said that they know her family, and she is unfit to be a principal, and that person once again who knows her regard. So I'm going to skip through to this next segment where the person goes on talking about how she feels.
Wendy must be a narcissist. For her to say, I didn't do nothing wrong, I didn't do nothing, that right there should tell you something. The fact that she's not sorry for what she said should tell you something. I know this. I saw it all over her. I was, oh my God, she don't need to be a principal. She don't need to be a principal. And
So there she goes again, talking about the fact that in her response to the initial video, she showed no remorse about what she said, and she defended her statement. So this person kind of regurgitated my sentiments in that regard. And so I'm going to skip on a little bit further, and I hope you guys can hear this.
in the wind, I don't know. If you know, I wish you would tell me. I think she needs to either be disciplined or she needs to be take off that position, move somewhere else, something. But she don't need to be influencing children. No.
And once again, the lady here who knows her, echoes once again the sentiments of a lot of people who feel like Mrs. Waters should be removed or disciplined from her position. And let me move on to. I definitely want to get to this one part of the conversation. Let's see what we have here.
I need to tell somebody that somebody needs to let somebody know that she needs to be removed from that position. Put her at the office. Do something with her. But that she needs to be removed. And I'm not talking this about anybody.
So once again, she echoes the sentiments of Mrs. Waters needing to be removed from her position. And let me move forward. It's only a couple of more clips, but I definitely want you guys to hear one clip in particular.
You did an excellent job. Don't let her fool you, though. She tried to fluff you up there for a minute. Don't let her do it. I know this girl. I know her mother. She does not mean nothing she says. Okay?
Okay.
I'm 73.
Okay, so once again, the lady admits that she knows Mrs. Waters, and she knows Mrs. Waters' mother. And I'm going to move on as well. Just a couple of more clips. Hope you guys can hear this once again.
Animal for nothing. She was raised to do no wrong. Her parents think she walked on water. They let her get by with everything. That I know personally. I know that personally. So this coming out like this, she's really thinking nobody's gonna do anything about it. She's gonna get by with it. And she probably will. If this had been a black teacher, she wouldn't have got by with this. You know that.
And so there she says that, once again, she's been raised to not be accountable for her actions. And she also iterated what I said in a earlier Facebook post. I didn't do a YouTube video, but I did a Facebook post about another principal. In 2019, Christopher Horn was a black teacher, and in the midst of the racial tension and racial violence, he asked all of his white teachers to read a book by Peggy McIntosh called White Privilege: Unpacking the Invisible Knapsack, to get the teachers' perspectives and get their points of view on the different types of privilege they may enjoy, and the different types of ways that they can notice those things, but also to be able to check those things as well and put themselves on an even keel, especially in a majority black high school. And within, I guess, days of him, giving that assignment of understanding to the teachers, he was immediately fired. And so that's what Mrs. The caller here was saying, that if this was been a black teacher who made those remarks, then of course as we see with Mr. Horn, the discipline was swift and exact. So this is an example of some of the double standards that we see in this regard, where it's almost a blatant example of what Mr. Horn was trying to get the teachers to see about white privilege. And I'm going to move on to this video. 6. All right, I'm going to play this part.
So they were pretty well saturated with racism. They were, but that's a personal experience. I know that for a fact.
And so this, she says that Wendy grew up listening to a lot of Rush Limbaugh and Tucker Carlson, and if you heard her, she said they were pretty saturated with racism in their household growing up. And once again, this is someone who knows her personally, and this is one story that is quite telling as well.
And he ran away from that family because they were so tough, so racist. Just Johnny had a different mindset than they did. He was more liberal. I'm not a street liberal, but but he was. He ran away, lived on the street for years, and then he wound up in Michigan, and he died of kidney failure. But we talked a long time before he died. He told me stories. And one story he told me that stuck out, and it's a small story, was that he had a black girlfriend in high school. They weren't lovers or nothing like that, but they were boyfriend, girlfriend. And his daddy saw him holding hands with this girl. And he took them home and took him to his office and said, "Boy, if I ever see you hold that nigger's hand again, I'm gonna beat the hell out of you." That's exact words he said.
Okay, and there she tells, a story about one of the Waters children who unfortunately has passed, and we're not trying to denigrate him or bring up any old wounds, but once again, this is tantamount to what this is all relative to what we're talking about, where he had a black girlfriend in high school, and his father said, if he ever catch you holding that nigger's hand again, then he's gonna beat him. Now that was reportedly what her husband said. And once again, this is information given to me, so I'm just reporting it as it comes. I didn't wake up. I didn't ask for this. I didn't seek out for this. Somebody called me early this morning and started, giving me all of this information. And so I am just sharing it as I receive it, as it is relative to what the current situation entails. And so I'm going to play this last clip, and then I'll be done with this. But I did want to just give a slight update, because a lot of people have been calling me, asking me what happened with the situation.
So I just want you to understand where Wendy is coming from. Where she's coming from, and part of it she can't help. That's the way she was raised. And it's sad, but she still don't need to get principal.
Okay, and that's the last part of it. You know, the lady said, you know, um, she may can't help the way she feels or the way she acts or the way she views certain things, but that's the way she was raised. But all in all, the person who knows her very closely and intimately feels that she shouldn't be a principal. And once again, I myself has had second chances in life, so I understand that the power of making mistakes can actually help you be a better person. And so either way, whatever happens, I hope this makes Miss Waters a better person, and then helps her to kind of change views if she has those type of views that the person who knows her intimately uh, were detailing in this conversation. If she had those views, I hope that this incident will help her to enlighten herself, or change those views. And once again, as I always taught and always teach and always feel that racism is taught. Like I said, I remember in first grade, I was in the academic gifted classes, and I had one of my best friends, Steve Emerson. Shout out to Steve. If anybody knows what Steve Emerson is today, tell him I said what's up. But that was one of my closest friends. We played ball together. We were into all the, they used to take me and him out and test us, and see who would have the highest scores and stuff. And that led us to a competition. We were always in the same math class. We were raced to do our work and things of that nature. But we were always close until about sixth or seventh grade, and I believe that then we started to see the differences. The way the differences. And not only me and him, but me and many others. Like I said, I was always in the class with the majority of white students. So it began to be a time where I saw that I would be um, reprimanded for talking while others were not, or just little nuances as I begin to realize. And I think we realized, okay, well, we don't supposed to be this tight. You know what I mean? And we kind of grew apart from then on, and maybe it was my rebelliousness against the system and not knowing, but realizing, okay, I'm not stupid. I see how I'm being treated, but nevertheless, racism is taught, and that's something that we all have to realize. Like I said, it's embedded in the fabric of this nation, and sometimes we don't even realize that we have those prejudices and biases until they come out of this nature. So I pray once again for Miss Waters. I pray no ill will for her, but people are still concerned, and people want to know what is going to be done about those things, because as the lady said in the video, if the shoe was on the other foot, or this would have been some Mexican making, excuse me, dad, some Latino, or some black person, or some Asian making those comments, then about white people, then of course there would have been a, once again, I think, swift and exact results, or punishment for those statements. So I hope this was informative. Like I said, if you guys want to go to the school board meeting this coming up Monday, I think that will be the 11th. Uh, I definitely encourage you to go if you guys are concerned or want to voice your opinions either way. But I thank y'all for tuning in. God bless y'all. Peace and love.